Next we have Josie.
Hi, my name is Josie Albor. I'm a Verizon employee, CWA member for 20 years, and I'm a rebuilder, and I'm part of the Rebuild movement along with my colleague James Stone. And we're here to touch on the Rebuild movement, correct? So I have a couple of bullet points here. So the Rebuilder movement was formed throughout 3 years. It was a movement because we saw dysfunction and corruptness in our local e-board. So I'm going to ask you guys one question. What's disgusting?
Union busting.
What's more disgusting? E-board union busting. Within our own local, there was corruption and greed and just they can do that sort of attitude and approach to everything, and we were fed up with it. The walls were broken down. We had a general membership meeting. These issues were addressed. I'm not really going to touch on what the issues were until the indictment comes in. So through this dysfunction, the Rebuild movement was initiated, and it took a lot to get people to see what they didn't want to see. People were familiar with comfortable with an incumbent 20-year president who wasn't even visible ever. Correct. So for the first time in over 30 years in our local, we formed a quorum, which is 10% of our membership, was able to overturn a vote. Am I right with that? Okay. There we go. So what we did was we stopped the executive board, and now the rebuilders, they got for the first time row A. All 12, was it 12, 13 rebuilders had the entire row A. And row A was traditionally reserved for the incumbents. But we had so many positive, what did we have? We had a petition, we had so much support that we got the row A. And for the first time in a long time, the entire ticket won. And now we're rebuilding our local. One person at a time, whatever it takes. And not to forget, one of the most important strategies that the rebuilders had in their favor, which we knew that God was a CWA member. We were on strike for 2 weeks in August, and we had torrential rain, we had flooding, we had an earthquake, we had Hurricane Irene, and we held tough on our picket line for a long time. And the rebuilders, at that point, they came in. We came in, I hate to say it, but we came, we stood up, we made sure we had a strong man's picket line. It was the best picket line we've seen in years. 24/7, we had that going. We had support from all of our brothers and sisters, from the TWU, the Teamsters, everybody came. We had political support. We had everything. DC 37, everybody, I can't even mention, they were coming out of control. It was amazing. And with that, the rebuilders stood up and they made sure that those lines were manned with leadership and people that they could trust. So it was the first time in a long time that an election had tied in with a strike. And through whatever glory it was, we now have a very positive new term of rebuilders that are running our executive board. So they're going to bring some sort of a cohesion together that our local hasn't seen in a long time. And through that, we've noticed that they're bridging other locals together within the CWA, which in previous times have just been ripped apart. And that's what it is, because we're one union, one goal. That's all we want. And we were successful, and there is hope. And through unity, we can achieve many, many things. That's all I got.